So hi everyone, my name is Dr. Sirisilp. You can call me Thai from Thailand. That's not a joke, by the way. I'm a founder and CEO of Perception Codes, and I'm actually a university's professor. I do teach software engineering and computer science to students in Southeast Asia regions. So here we are going to talk about why haven't we really disrupt education? By shows of hand, do you think today education needs some kind of a reform or fix? Oh, wow, that's a lot of hands. Oh, that's really cool. So in a way, it's all on us, right? By show of hands, are there any educators, university professors, and teachers in the crowd? Oh, I see a few as well. So that's on us too. Okay, awesome. So I can see here that we have a really passionate and really cozy amount of crowd here in the room. So really thank you so much for being here today. So usually in my class, when I start my class, I usually ask my students, the slides doesn't work. Hold on. Okay, so I usually ask my students, if can I have your full attention, please? And their usual go-to response would be, all they can do is 20%. I don't know if you guys are, memes lovers like me, but that's usually my go-to thing. But 20% is like the best of the best, right? And that is common when you try to shove down facts down students' throat over a long period of time. It's common for people to, dwell in their thoughts or, get disrupted by other things. So this is very common. But what I learned from more than 10 years of teaching is that we as an educators are no longer a medium just to passing down facts. That's all done, right? We have the internet. 10, 20 years ago, we think, okay, if we can create a source of information and people can just look it up, everybody will be smart. And look around. So we still have this FTX crash down, we still have these misinformations, we still have a lot of things, and things that's cost people's life, like vaccination, for example, and that's really caused people to lose their life, and that is a huge problem. So what I found is that one of my students actually showed me that as an educator, it's not really about teaching. He was really sitting in front of the class, spending all the time. But after 1 year, he started to no longer come in and doesn't really do the work. So back then, I was wondering why don't he put the effort in, right? Why not, right? But then after some times, his mother came to visit, and that's when I learned that his parents have a divorce and they have family issues. And what he really wants is to grow up really fast and take responsibilities financially. That's how he started to get into finding quick works rather than coming to classes, and eventually to gambling. Right. So I realized here and then that as an educator, it's not just about shoving down facts. First, it's about showing the students what's in it for them, for education, right? Education, coming to university, is a form of investment. If they do not see what will they getting in the future, why would they come, right? And to inspire them, to create a suitable environment for the students, that's what we need to do. So how can we show students in the third world countries like Thailand, where I'm from, the world? But more importantly, at the same time, how can we show students in the developed countries, the world, so that we have empathy, so that we bring people forward? And that's how we create change, right? The world is a diverse place. There is tons of cultures, different ways of people thinking, different style of food, right? Different place to go. How can we create empathies and bring people together? Fortunately, we have virtual realities and augmented realities to do that. And that is something that we can use it to really bring people together, to get them close to what they are learning about, right? And that's basically, this is something that I bet that you heard again and again for the past 5 years plus on benefits of virtual realities, for augmented realities, for education. Have we used it in education system yet? Now that's the question. It's been so long. We see so many corporates putting down a lot of money into education. But it's still not the mainstream thing. It's not really one of the main tools that we use for education. How so? Why? What's wrong with it? It's so great. The technology is so good. Why is it not mainstream yet? Well, that's what we have been discussing so far, is from a tech lover's perspective. Now, let's entertain the idea of being a person in the education systems, okay? You are a teacher with 2 kids, working 9 to 5, right? You already have your work filled out, all the administration works, all the meetings, all the PTAs, all the parents' shenanigans, all the gradings you have to do, all the courses you have to prepare. And we are talking about not just tech teachers, we're talking about historical teachers, we're talking about mathematical teachers, we're talking about chemistry teachers who might not always be tech savvy. And now we have this person coming in with really cool tool, which you really like, it's really nice, but first, apart all the things that you have on your hands, you have to learn the new technologies. You have to find contents, learning materials for it, which is not really abundant, all of that, by the way. On top of that, you will have to ask the universities, the schools, for the device. Okay, it's cool, the universities will look into it. Then let's look at the universities and schools' perspective. If you're gonna have a headset, you need a dedicated space for one student. It's a new device, so the previous technicians don't know how to operate it, so you need to hire a specialist technician person for it. And the throughput for it is 1 person at a time. And the cost is gonna be $300 to $500 to $3,000 to $5,000 per student. So that doesn't make sense for the schools and the universities to explore, to explore, yes, but not to integrate it, the technologies into the systems. This is just a thought from a different perspective. So, if we're gonna have a VR, AR systems that gonna be used in education, what would be the key main criteria? Let's look from the user's perspective. Of course, it has to be immersive. That's why we are here after all, aren't we? But more importantly, it needs to be easily integratable into existing learning environments. The students, the teachers should not require to learn much about it, should be operated in an easy manner. And more importantly, it should be affordable. And when I say affordable, it's not really for a really poorest of the poor schools. We're talking about middle-class schools here, which we can't even really afford the device and the space, right? It's nice to paint the pictures to bring students in Burma, in rural Thai area, in a border to have the technology. That is cool, right? But even with the middle-class schools, we aren't able to facilitate them yet. So it has to be immersive, easily integratable, and affordable. So that is why we at Perceptions, we managed to develop and work with some of the schools, and let's look at some of the work that we have done so far. I was just gonna let it roll for 10 seconds. So basically, the thing that we did is that we created systems for students who start working with XR technologies, just using the device that they already have. That is computers, tablets, and basically paper glasses that anyone can purchase from Amazon. What does this do? I'm just gonna roll that again. Okay. What does this do is that it allows students and schools to tap into immersive experience and integrate it in their teachings curriculum with a fraction of the cost of what they have to pay previously. Now let's look at some of the feedback and what the students and the teachers have to say about their learning experience.
I thought it was really just very fun, very interactive, and overall a great experience.
It is really immersive. It brings us into it, or in other words, it brings it out to us.
I think as a teacher myself, I think it's a really effective teaching and learning tool. It really brings learning to life and brings meaning into the classroom because the children get to feel like they're really seeing artifacts or having these experiences. So I think in terms of meaning making in the classroom, it's a really useful tool.
From that point on, from working with the schools and the students, we look into source of learning contents. And this is where we are able to work with 7 museums to date. These include the Imperial War and Science Museum in London, Ditsong and Anglo Boer War Museum in South Africa, a couple of museums in Romania and Ireland as well. So with these technologies, we send out thousands of classes to hundreds of schools in the UK with just a couple of thousand US dollars. And that's something that the students can take it home and really enjoy it by themselves. So with that, we still need help, okay? This is just the beginning. We are a startup, after all. And what we did is just a minimum viable product that we start to tap into for the VRAR communities and for the education communities. But looking at the sectors today, you will see that the focus is primarily on better, cooler, high-tech device. And that is all right, and that is cool. That is why I'm in the space in the first place. That is why I get Oculus DK1 from Kickstarters in the first place. That is what got me into masters and PhDs and doing the startups in the first place. But with that being said, again and again, we see that over 5 years now, we still don't see VRAR as a mainstream device, ubiquitous, at the level of smartphone yet. So I would just like to invite everyone in this talk to open up an idea of, instead of looking from the text perspective, but looking from the user's perspective. What problem are we trying to solve? What opportunities are we trying to grasp specifically in certain sections? It doesn't have to be education, but my case is education. And how can we solve that? What kind of an AR VR system solve that in a practical manner, in an achievable goal, in obtaining a low-hanging fruit, if you will. So with that, I would like to have my closing remarks by showing these pictures. I don't know if software engineers are in the house. If you do, you probably know these pictures. All right. So on your right side, no, your left side. Okay, I've got mixed up. On your left side, you will see this product that most of the time, the product designer, the tech lovers, we want to build the things that's perfect. If you're gonna do a swing, it should be high-level cushions, best of the best swing, like lazy boy on the tree, if you will. But software engineers has reminded us again and again that's all about users. Sometimes what they need to achieve their immediate goal is just a tire and a rope. So with that, I want to thank you everyone for your time. And if you're looking to do something with the technologies or immersive or anything in education, please feel free to connect with me. And thank you so much for your time. Thank you.